FX Nation, what's up guys? Welcome back to the channel. Welcome back to another video guys. And in this video guys, we're going to take a look at some of the setups from the past week on all different types of pairs. Alright, and we're going to break down some of these trade setups so you can better understand how you could have traded the setups themselves. And also, if you did take the setup, see if you took it with the same mindset that I have. All right, so let's not waste any time, guys. We're going to take a look at some of the setups from last week, and let's just go ahead and get to it right now. All right, guys. So we're looking at right now EURCAD, and here's our Asian box here from EURCAD. The yellow line is the beginning of the week, actually. All right. So we're going to play this, and we're going to talk about what's going on here. Right. All right. So Asian box here, and then we're looking at let's see, what time is this? Right at 3:45. Okay, so right at 3:45, where are we at? We're in the middle of the Asian range, right? We get a railroad track in the middle of the range. All right, so this is without using any EMAs or anything like that, guys. This is literally, like I always talk about, it's about the pattern. Okay, it's all about the pattern, guys. So let's just see what we can get out of this here. If we were to trade it, can we get 30 pips out of it? Okay, there's about 30 pips. All right, and then we're looking at a almost a 4-to-1 risk reward trade. Really good risk reward trade. Okay, so now an interesting thing I want you to notice is that this 30 pip is pretty close to last week's high for the day over here. Do you see that? So keep that in mind as we watch this here. All right, there it is. So we got 30 pips here, okay? And you can see, so that's one trade, right? That's one trade you could have taken, right? Here's the second thing is, you see how when we got up here to 30 pips, we started to pin, right? So we started to pin here, okay, created a doji. We're all the way up here at last week's high, okay? What are the odds if we go back one, okay, and we see this, that we can potentially see another trade setup going back down? All right, because now we're at like what, 8:45, 9 o'clock, right? And so what are we thinking now? We're thinking possibly high of the day, you know, do a reversal trade, right, in the U.S. session. It's literally the opening of the U.S. session right now. Okay, so if we can get a reversal out of it, why not? You know, so let's just think about it like this. And then we can keep like a 15 pip, you know, loss if we need to. And then if this is going to be at least 30 pips, right, it's going to be going where? Right back to the middle of the range, right? So let's see if this can go back to the middle of the range, or if we can potentially get more out of it. Boom. So we got the 30 pips already back in the middle of the range in what, like 5 candles. So by 10:30 you were up 30 pips. Okay, at this point, what can you do? Like I always talk about, right, you can grab your 30 and be out for the day and be done, or you can move your stop loss from up here and now bring it all the way down here, right, and then see how far you can actually go with it. Okay, but let's play this out and see how far down it actually went. All right, so it went down about 60 pips max. Okay, so 60 pips max. So 2 trades that you could have taken back to back. One was during the London Open right at 3:45. The other one was at the US Open right at 9 o'clock. All right, so 2 trades, 30 pips apiece. You could have gotten 60 out of the other one, but let's say 60 pips in one day on one pair alone. not even looking at the other pairs. All right, so very, very good setups here just in one day on EURCAD. All right, let's take a look at another one. All right, guys, so we're looking at now EURJPY. Same thing. Here's the beginning of the day here, and then here's our Asian session, and let's take a look and see how this plays out here. All right, so clearly we are doing some type of, if it's going to happen, it's going to be a type 1 reversal, right? Because we're already above the Asian range, right? So if this is going to be any kind of reversal, we're looking for a type 1 reversal. So let's see what we end up getting here. Okay, so we have to start paying attention when we see that price essentially stalls, right? It gets to a certain point, and then it starts stalling, all right? It just literally stops. Think about the fact that we're moving up, and then all of a sudden it just stops, all right? That's a red flag right there, all right? So let's just say that this setup here, we can take potentially down. Okay, now the one thing I love about this setup is the fact that our stop loss is going to be very, very small. Why? Because we're so close to price, right? So, and here's the great thing about it is the fact that if we're wrong, right, we want to be wrong right away and as quickly as possible. So a 10 pip, in this case, a 10 pip stop loss, to gain, 34 pips or so, or let's just say 30 pips here, which is the bottom of the Asian range. I mean, we're at a over close to 3-to-1 risk to reward ratio. These are the type of ratios that you want to get when you're thinking about doing a trade. Okay, if you can't get at least a 2-to-1 risk to reward ratio, then it's not probably going to be a trade that you want to take. You want the odds to be in your favor, okay, as much as possible. So let's let this play out and see what happens here. All right, so this one ended up being the same thing, almost 60 pips, 55 pips. Okay, regardless, you got 30 pips out of it. All right, very simple trade to do. All right, type 1 setup, and you're done. Okay, you're done by what, 9:15, 9:30? You're done by. Okay, and if you really wanted to, then what do we end up getting here? We ended up getting what? Nice little W here for a US reversal, potentially. Let's see how that would have worked out. So we're looking at another possibly 30 pips almost off of the US reversal on a W. See that? So could have gotten that as well. So there's your US reversal there. There's another 28 pips that you could have gotten as well. So one pair, 2 trades. I mean, these are definitely not bad, trades that you could have taken, and they're pretty clear to take also. Let's take a look at another one. All right, so this is still EURJPY. This is actually the next day. A couple things that I want to point out to you, okay, that I want you to realize here is I'm going to zoom back, and I want you to see something, okay? I want you to notice that we are at a level, right? We're at a level. We've been moving sideways here for quite a while. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, like 6 days, right? So I want you to keep that in the back of your mind, all right, that we've been moving sideways for 6 days. And then I want you to keep in mind also that the previous day yesterday, right, we had this move all the way down, straight down, and then reverse, right? And we've gone past, right? We went past the initial, like, let's say levels that were within this level here, right? So we passed it, came back up, okay? You'll see why I mentioned this in a second. Okay, so let this play out here and let's see what happens here. Okay, so I want you guys to pay attention to what's going on here. So we went up to yesterday's high, okay, and we did nothing but move sideways, basically collecting contracts, okay, and then we decided to go down to the middle of the range here, okay. Now here, if we're in the middle of the range and we're about what, 8 o'clock now, we're gonna look to take a long position, okay, because they've been doing nothing but collecting contracts all this time until they got into the middle of the range, okay. Now let's see how far up we have to do to get 30 pips out of it, which is right there, right? Again, we're at a 4-to-1 risk to reward ratio. We're looking at what, let's just put like 10 pip stop loss, right? We're still at 3-to-1 for a 30 pip, right? So here's where this comes into play with that I was talking about, this yesterday's move, okay. Remember what I told you, that whenever market makers are ready to move away from a level, they'll swipe down one time, okay, outside of that range. All right, so they'll basically do this. So here they're in a, let's say they're in a range here, right? And let's say they're wanting to go up, they'll go down, and then they'll move away to the next level, right? Because when they go down here, they're basically wanting to get as many sellers as possible so they can take the opposite side of the trade, right, and go up and higher to the next level, right? So here's what I want you to see what happens here. Did you see that? So we got our 30 pips out of it, right? But you see, most importantly, what happened. They spiked down, reversed, consolidated here, collected more contracts, right? They didn't pass the high. You see that? They didn't pass the high yet. They collected more contracts on the way down, making sure people thought that it was going to continue down, okay? But they didn't. They reversed it. As soon as they had enough, boom, moved away. Here's the high of that range that they were working, right? Came down, retested it, and then boom, moved away to another level. Okay, so remember, when they're about to move to a higher or lower level, they're always going to spike. Okay, they're not always going to spike, but majority, I would say 90% of the time, they will spike down or spike up to get more traders trapped before they make the move to the next level. All right, but again, this trade here, 30 pips easily, okay, that you could have gotten out of it. And if you were trading this on a higher time frame, I mean obviously you're looking at way more than just 30. I mean, we're looking at, 90 pips or so, if you'd held it the whole time. So just a food for thought that I want you guys to understand and see this as it happened in real time. All right, guys, let's go to the next one. All right, so we're looking at Euro AUD now, and same thing, start of the day, Asian range, and let's take a look and see what happens here. All right, so you can already see what's happening here, right? We're creating a nice little W form here right at the Asia low. Okay, so essentially, what does this tell us, right? That we can take potentially a trade up to to hopefully grab 30 pips, right? So let's just see how this can possibly work out. If it does work out, can we get 30 pips out of this if we enter right after that railroad track there? Let's see here. So here's 30 pips. We're at a 2-to-1 risk to reward ratio. Okay. Again, if we're wrong, we want to be wrong right away. Okay. So the fact that we have a railroad track here, okay, we're going to put it right below the railroad track. We're not going to put it below the low here, because if we're wrong and they come back down again, we want to be out of the trade anyways. Okay. So just keep that in mind, and we don't want to risk more than 15 pips max. Okay. At least I don't. So this gives us at least a 2.51 to 1 ratio. So let's see how this plays out here. Boom. So we got our 30, but one thing I want you guys to see that's very important, I think, is look what happens here. So we got our 30, but look what happens. Why would price come straight up 30 pips, okay, and then all of a sudden stop? All right, and then not only just stop, but where does it stop? It stops in the middle of the range. Okay, if you see this happening, you know that you need to take profit and get out of the trade. Okay, you need to take profit and get out of the trade, because there's no way. And by the way, this is news. Okay, so this right here is news, guys. This is an 8:30 candle for news. All right, so that's another dead giveaway, right? That you need to be out of the trade. But in this case here, you got 30 pips out of it. But then right after news hit, and what did they do? They used news to complete the pattern, right? So here we have in the middle of the range, and then look what happens. Once news hit, they just go down, right? And they went down about 85 pips or so, right up until like maybe 1 o'clock, 2 o'clock or so. So just keep that in mind, guys. You have to know where you are when it comes to time, because especially if there's news that's going to be released. But just know that they will use news to complete patterns, and then keep going on their way. All right. All right, guys. So we're taking a look at Euro AUD. This is actually the next day, and let's see what happens here. All right. Let's just play this out here, and let's see what happens. One thing I want you guys to keep in mind is that you see, throughout the very beginning of London, they did nothing but literally move sideways, move sideways, move sideways, move sideways. Okay, if you guys were to take this railroad track here as a trade down, you would have gotten stopped out like 2 candles later. Okay, because sometimes you just need to wait, guys. This is why I tell you, not always do you take a trade outside of the edge. I'd rather miss this trade out of the edge and let them develop and let them show me what they're doing first. Okay, very important to just let them show you what they're doing, guys. Don't take the bait right out of the gate. Okay. So here, look at what we have here. So collecting contracts moves down where? To the middle of the range, goes back up, comes back down and retest it. What does that create? Right there, right? Nice little W pattern right here. Down, up, down, up, down. So now we're looking for a potential long, okay? And because we're looking at the very low here, our actual our entry is going to be really super tight here on this. Okay, so we're going to get a great risk to reward ratio on this. And guess what? If we're wrong, we'll be out of the trade like in 5 pips, which is ridiculous. Okay, so here's our 30. We're getting almost a 4-to-1 risk to reward ratio on this. Let's play this out. There you go, guys. So total, this was over 50 pips, 55 pips or so. But you can see, guys, when you let the pattern develop, okay, let them show you what they're doing. Don't get too caught up in trying to get in as early as possible. Okay? So don't get caught putting your hands in the cookie jar too early. Okay? Wait till they show you what they're doing, guys. That's the whole point of this. Just wait to see what they're showing you. Okay? But again, 55 pips on this particular trade on Euro AUD. Alright? Alright, guys. So I hope you enjoyed this video, guys. I hope that you learned a lot from watching these trade setups. Guys, if you like watching these types of videos of me breaking down trades, please comment below and let me know. That way I know whether to do more of these videos or not. Okay? Everything is pretty much based on what you guys want to see. So if you guys like to see this type of video, please let me know. And I'll start making a lot more of these videos on a regular basis. Like the video, guys. Share the video if you found some value. Again, thank you so much for taking the time to watch the video, guys. And until next time, just keep on trading, guys. Guys, one last thing. Thank you so much for watching my videos. I really appreciate the fact that you take the time to watch my videos. I really hope that I've added value in each of the videos that I make for you guys, and I hope that you're learning something. As always, guys, please make sure you subscribe to the channel. Please like and share the videos if you found value in them. And also, don't forget to visit our website at www.fxntradinggroup.com. Once again, guys, thank you so much. I'm truly blessed.